What's going on, everybody? It's Jesse from Ion Aesthetics. Thanks for checking back into the channel. I've got a really great video for you guys today where I'm going to review a whole bunch of detailing products. Now, this is a wide range of stuff from chemicals to tools to accessories, new equipment, personal protective stuff. We're going to run the gamut here. I've got boxes next to me from Glassparency, the Rag Company, Obsessed Garage, and a bunch of different manufacturers that come from my local wholesaler, Long Island Detail Supply. Now, for me personally, this is what I call my annual booking order. I try every year to project what my next year of business is going to look like and order everything at once. And although I do have to take up some space in my garage and I tie up some cash in physical inventory, this really helps the efficiency of running a business. So if you're someone watching this channel from a business perspective, ordering product this way instead of ordering it when you need it is a great way to avoid just getting caught off guard and not having something. Not having to make unnecessary trips, right? Whether it's driving to a store or wherever you buy your stuff or waiting for things in shipment. It allows you to just have everything you need on hand, ready to grab at a moment's notice. If you're, disciplined and you're able to set money aside in your business every single month, I highly recommend considering shifting to an inventory system like this and leaving yourself the most amount of time throughout the year to detail and be on your toes and be able to get to customers when they really need you. Now, this video here is not going to be a business lesson, nor is it going to be a deep dive into any of the products in particular. It's just going to be an unboxing and a quick overview, and we'll get through it. However, if you are someone who sees a particular product and you'd like me to do a more detailed review of the product, how to use it, what it's like out in the real world, it would mean the world to me if you would leave that stuff in the comments, because it takes a little bit of work off my shoulders by giving me ideas for content to film and produce in the future. So would love it if you guys do that. And if not, even just a click of the like button, a new subscriber always helps. It's a really simple way to support my channel and my growing little business. But that's it for now. I'm going to start ripping open some of these boxes and go through these products with you guys. Hope you enjoy. So first up is going to be all the stuff that I received from Long Island Detail Supply. Gary and the crew over at Long Island Detail Supply are really doing great stuff here on Long Island and for the tri-state detail community. They carry a bunch of great brands and products, a wide range of tools and equipment, and everything that you need to detail in your own driveway or run a business. They're on the South Shore of Long Island, pretty centrally located. They're not too far out east. And if you haven't done so already, check them out if you're on Long Island, or give them a call if you're in the tri-state area. They offer delivery service. They literally came with the truck, dropped off all the stuff in my driveway. I didn't, while I was hanging Christmas lights basically, so I didn't have to do anything except go down there and just place my order. Big shout out to them. So I do have a little mix, I have a little bit of everything from Long Island Detail Supply. I'll start off with a couple of just like tools, I guess, and accessories. So first off are these Easy Detail wheel cleaning brushes. These are great, as you can see on the tag, for reaching into tight areas. So if you do any motorcycle detailing or getting into the barrels of wheels, right, on all different sorts of like cars and trucks, so you can really give them a good cleaning and a proper detail. What happens throughout the year is the end right here where the handle meets the shaft will start to wear down just from torque and twisting forces or tilting it or bending it, and eventually it snaps off. So I got 2 of these and restocked for the one that I had just broke. Next up, I have a new brush from the Detail Factory. I have a couple of other Detail Factory brushes that I really like. Their brushes feel really good in the hand. They have great quality bristles. I have one that's really soft. I use it as like a dusting sort of bristle. This is one of their newer items, which is the Curveball. So the Curveball has a really, really large set of these soft bristles here. And they're fixed to this grip that fits nicely in the palm of your hand. There's a lot of things you can use this for, from bug guts and badges and grills to interior detailing. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend using one to do all of that stuff. But what I've noticed in particular is I need something for applying tire dressings on trucks, especially when they have larger tires, off-road tires, things that have a lot of deep grooves and big sort of chunks where it just kind of chews up a regular foam tire shine applicator. So that's how I'll be using the curveball in particular. And it's actually nice they come with these little stands here. So this will actually get fixed somewhere on my wall, probably not this wall, but put it up there like that, and you have a nice little holder. Shout out to Detail Factory for always having some of the best brushes out. Really love it. Moving on, I did order some microfiber products through Long Island Detail Supply. First is going to be replacing some old waffle weave towels, which I still like for cleaning glass. However, recently I've become a lot more familiar with the FTW. This is a great glass towel, mainly because I find that when I use these, I can clean the glass with one towel. I religiously clean my glass with 2 towels, one for the wet product and one to buff dry. With these towels, it's amazing. Just 1 or 2 spritzes of glass cleaner, clean the glass, walk away, and it's streak-free every single time. I don't know how they do it. If you know the Rag Company, you know that they just make good stuff and the stuff works. And so I'm excited to have a few of these in my inventory now. I've also got some Creature Edgeless microfiber towels. Now I'll rip open this pack here. The Creature Edgeless is a dual pile towel. I use this for a lot of the exterior stuff, like buffing waxes and sealants, definitely ceramic coatings, all right? They have this low nap side, which is really great as the sort of leveling side, your initial wipe of the ceramic coating. And the other side has these longer fibers. And this is great for a final buff, removing the coating or, waxes, sealants, polishing residue, things like that. 420 GSM, I believe. It's just kind of like the perfect weight towel. With any of these microfiber towels, I always recommend that when they're brand new, like if you're taking a bunch out, wash them first, all right? It'll get rid of any like loose lint, anything that might have gotten past quality control and made its way into the packaging, and you don't want it to be stuck in there and scratch the paint. And that first wash cycle just kind of like fluffs the towel up and makes it, as puffy as it's really supposed to be. So these are really great. They come in packs of 25 or 20, I believe. So I have a few packs of these. I think that'll wrap it up for the microfiber stuff. Now, speaking of removing polishing residue, I have stocked up on my favorite compound and polish. I love the Rupes system. So I have their blue coarse compound. I also have the yellow fine finishing polish. Bunch of bottles of these had come in. And as far as the pads go, I've been making a transition, I would say, from their foam pads to their wool pads. So I have plenty of foam in inventory, the yellow foam specifically, bunch of different sizes. However, for this year, I've ordered a bunch of their yellow wool pads. I started using these towards the end of the year. The Forster detailing series, that video I made of the ceramic coating the paint correction, I used these wool pads, and I was reluctant at first, but I really am amazed at how well these cut and finish. That's why I've really stuck with the foam for as long as I've had, is, they just have a better finishing capability, but you do see the limits of their cut, especially on like black vehicles or some of the harder GM paints, Chevy, things like that. And I actually think that this is really the sweet spot. Something to consider if you've been a big foam pad guy like me. Give these wool pads a chance, get familiar with them, start to learn their limits and how they work and what you can adjust in the polishing process. And I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised to have these in your inventory. I know I am. This next product is something that's new to the business. I've been using Some different like spray coatings for interiors, just so customers have some protection after their carpets or their seats get shampooed. Stuff I've been really happy with, but Gary at Long Island Detail Supply actually put me onto this. And this is Stark Shield, which is like a leather, vinyl, fabric, and upholstery sort of all-in-one coating. Now, normally I would stay away from like all-in-one products. I like having separate leather protection, protectors and leather conditioners, because I feel like that's really the best. And then having like a separate spray coating for fabrics and upholstery. But what's interesting about this is marine grade stuff. I use some of the other Stark products for marine detailing. Fortunately, last year I did start to get into boats a lot more. And Gary really recommended that I give this a shot. What I liked hearing about this the most, because I haven't used it personally yet, is unlike most spray-on fabric and upholstery coatings, the process is usually spray it on, work it in with a brush, and then give it another mist as you walk away, whereas this is half of that work. Spray it on, work it into the fibers, walk away. I mean, they even say you could just spray and leave it. I'm probably gonna experiment with working it in and walking away from it, and maybe that's a video we'll see in the future. So if you'd like to see me do some reviews of this, some how-tos, and some real-world results, leave some comments below. But so far, I've had really good experience with Stark products, and I'm really enjoying the stuff that I've taken into my inventory, so good on you guys. And I know I mentioned I like having a separate conditioner or protectant for leather, and that is the Color Lock leather conditioner. This is like a 32 or so. It's like a weird 33 ounce size. Leave it to Germany for that one. But plenty of leather conditioner to keep those seats and door bolsters just like nice and supple, prevent some cracking and the fading and everything like that. Also from Long Island Detail Supply, a product that's new to my business is going to replace a coating that I've been using for vinyl and PPF specifically. I'm not going to name any names, but this coating as of recent underwent some new formulation, and some users out in the internet and the free world have discovered quite a few issues with it. So I think they're going to go back to the drawing board and maybe not reinvent the wheel completely, but hopefully make some changes to that coating. So for my customers who bring me a vehicle that has some type of PPF or vinyl wrap and they need a ceramic coating on it, I have the Diamond PPF coating. If you use any of the Diamond ProTech coatings, you do have to use their prep spray. Coating wrapped vehicles is not a particularly large part of my business, so I don't stock a ton of this stuff, but I at least do have it on hand for when it becomes necessary. Now, what I believe is the last bit of protection style products that I ordered from Long Island Detail Supply are a bunch of bottles of Gtechniq's C5 wheel armor. What I like about the C5 wheel armor is it's formulated specifically for the wheels. This is great to use on your wheels, your brake calipers, and if you have any sort of like powder coated suspension components like coilovers. It's formulated to deal with higher heat, which is what happens around the brakes and everything in that area. And I also really like the Gtechniq application. It's very user friendly, it doesn't flash too quickly, and the removal is consistently slick, and it just feels good when you're installing it, and of course it looks great. Also from Long Island Detail Supply, I've got some personal protective equipment in the form of the Hand Armor Geotex Grip gloves. These gloves are crucial. If you are a detailer, especially one in the Northeast, one, you should be wearing gloves. You're working with a lot of chemicals all day, every day. You should protect your skin. But number two, when it gets cold and you want to stay working out there, one of my little cheat codes is to wear a thin pair of gloves on my hand. They're the kind that come inside of a pair of like ski or snowboard gloves, and then put the latex glove over it. Now, what I like about these gloves is they're super thick. I'm going to put one of them on here. They're really thick, so they virtually never rip when you're putting them on, unless you're like really being a fool about it. The other thing, aside from that durability and that thickness, is they have this grip on them. And so, let me see, I'm trying to get this to focus here. Hopefully this shows up on camera. But that grip is really, really nice. Everything just sort of feels better in your hands. Your grip feels stronger. And even when I'm not detailing, if I'm working on my own car and I'm grabbing wrenches and ratchets and nuts and bolts. They're just so much tougher and they're a lot more durable. And gloves can be something really easy to, you know, cheap out on because they're a throwaway item and, you know, they get ripped or whatever. I highly recommend, if you haven't done so already, get yourself get these gloves or a glove like it. Spend up, get the thicker ones, get the ones with the grips. I promise once you try them out, there's no going back. And then the last of the stuff from Long Island Detail Supply are some general detailing chemicals. So I have body wash, which is the PNS. This is just like a pH balanced car shampoo. I do a lot of rinseless washing. However, during early spring when the pollen is really, really bad on Long Island, I do prefer to stick with soap and water, just a preference during that particular season. So I keep about 2 gallons on hand of this every year, and a gallon of the PNS Tempest degreaser. This is a pretty aggressive degreaser, not just in terms of pH, but like how caustic it is. I use this for everything from rubber floor mats to engine bay detailing. You know, if I have to tackle something that's like gonna be a dirtier job for sure, I don't like to mess around. I just like to have the cleaning power. I usually run this at about 10-to-1, so I do cut it, you know, fairly heavily, and it works great. Also from PNS, I have a gallon of the Shine All Performance Tire Dressing. This is something I started using last year, and it replaced my outgoing dressing of choice, and I was really happy with the results. It looks great on tires. It looks great in engine bays. It's easy to apply. You can buff it down to reduce the sheen and really dial in the finish based on your particular preference or your customers. I've really gotten accustomed to the PNS products over the last year. Something that I think I'm going to be sticking with for the foreseeable future, and I really like just about everything that comes from them. This next one is the product that I use the most in my detailing business. So I order it in a 5-gallon concentrate and then dilute it throughout the year. I might need some help with this one, but this is the 5-gallon jug of Brake Buster by PNS. Non-acid wheel and tire cleaner, works fantastic in an IK foam sprayer, and has just far and away become my favorite wheel and tire cleaner after nearly 8 years of detailing and trying all these different wheel and tire cleaners. That's the one. If you haven't tried PNS Brake Buster, something you definitely need to add to your detailing arsenal. And last but not least, from Long Island Detail Supply and PNS, I have their 3-tiered carpet cleaning system, which includes their Terminator enzyme cleaner. This is good for like spots and stains that you need to treat. I've also got a gallon of Carpet Bomber, which is more of a traditional carpet and upholstery shampoo. That's the second step. And then finally, the Finisher peroxide treatment. This is the third step of their carpet cleaning system. Neutralizes all of the cleaning chemicals that were used before, and is just a great way to prevent them from reactivating and sudsing up if, you know, the carpet gets wet again from a spill or, you know, or anything of that nature. So that wraps up everything from Long Island Detail Supply. Big shout out to Gary and all the guys over there who just let me come into the shop and chop it up with them. It's always a good conversation, and a special thanks to Gary for literally bringing this right to my doorstep and making it super easy to get all the things I need to keep my business running. Next up, I've got some really good stuff from Glassparency. If you're not familiar with this company, you should be. They're a Long Island-based company that make the world's best glass coating. That is fact, not opinion. Their glass coating, I would say, is their flagship product. It's good for windshields or if you want to do all the glass on a vehicle. It lasts 3 years. It performs great in bad weather. We live in the Northeast, so we see everything from hurricanes and tropical storms to hail and snow and, you know, bug guts on the highway and things like that. And it really protects the windshield, makes the water fly off easy. It's so easy to maintain and clean it. Can't say enough good things about it. Again, not really going to dive deep into any of these products, but strongly recommend you look into that one. More recently, however, they've started to release a full range of car care products. And so over the last year, I've started to gather more and more of them. Not only do I love using their products because of the way they perform, but they're also a local business to me. So I kind of get to kill two birds with one stone. Support a local business, something near my community, as well as get some really, really good detailing products. So let's start off with the glass coating. The glass coating comes in a box of 5, all right? Typically it's 1 packet to do a windshield, and for driver side windows, 1 packet will do 2 of those windows. So depending on the size of the vehicle, I go through, obviously 1 if it's just a windshield, to sometimes 3 or 4 of these packets if I'm doing a whole car or a big truck. Really easy to apply this stuff. If you're a professional detailer and you want to get certified, reach out to the team over at Glassparency. Heather and Tony do a great job. They'll get you trained up and certified, and they'll get you some of the best detailing products right into your hands. Now, I also restocked on some ceramic coatings. I use the Glassparency graphene coating, which is a single layer 3-year or so coating, double layer 5-year plus. Obviously all those durability ratings depend on the car, how much it's driven and where it's kept. But this coating has served my business really, really well. It comes in at a great value. If you are a professional detailer, sign up for their wholesale program. This will really, really help your efficiency and your bottom line, and your customers will get a really, really great coating for their vehicle. They also sell it in the larger size, so they sell it in 50 milliliter bottles, not the 30 milliliter bottles. Nothing wrong with anyone who, bottles and packages coatings that way, but you definitely get a lot for your money with the Glassparency graphene coating. I also stocked up on some more glass and chrome polish. This is a great chrome polish. I use it a lot on motorcycles or old faded trim whenever I see it. It really knocks out the oxidation and breathes some new life into the chrome and makes it look a lot brighter. It's also good for glass. So I put a little bit of this on a polishing pad, and this is like an additional cleaning or prep step before the glass coating goes on, just to make sure that the glass gets a really good deep clean and there's nothing that's going to interfere with the coating bonding to the glass when you apply it. I've also got some marketing materials from Glassparency. I got these hang tags here for customers who do get a glass treatment. This goes on their rear view mirror, and it has a reminder for their upcoming maintenance date. So it's really good at helping me retain my customers and see them again throughout the year. And it just has like a little bit of literature on the back about the coating. Moving on, I have the Glassparency applicators. These are color coded to match their branding and the coating bottles. They are, I'm pretty sure they're the like auto fiber savers. They have that like hydrophobic lining on the inside so that you don't have to use too much product. Because what happens with some other applicators that don't have that technology is the microfiber and the foam absorb more of the coating than actually gets put onto the paint. And then it causes you to use more product and cause streaking. With these applicators, you get a great deal by ordering them in bulk, but you also get a really smooth, easy application process. So I've just got a whole box of these behind me. And last from Glassparency are some products that I order in pretty large quantities. First up is their iron remover. If you're looking at this jug, it looks pretty big, kind of a weird size, but not quite a 5-gallon pail. This is a 2.5-gallon jug. Now, iron remover is something that I do go through quite a bit of, so it's nice, like I said in the beginning, to have a bunch of it, not have to worry about ordering more of it. The 2.5-gallon size is really efficient, especially in their wholesale program. So professional detailers, get out there, sign up for that wholesale program. I don't think the pricing can be beat. That's not like hyperbole, right? I've used a lot of other iron removers and I've done some math, and I think per ounce, the wholesale program on the Glassparency iron remover for a high quality iron remover is one of the best deals in the detailing world, period. And I also order a 2.5-gallon jug of their Boost. The Glassparency Boost is what I use before I deliver a car back to a customer that just received a ceramic coating. Doing that early in the morning helps accelerate the cure time of the coating. I also use it as a maintenance topper for my coating customers that I see on a monthly basis or every other month, or my bi-weekly customers. It's just a great way to top off the wash, add some lubrication during the drying process, and boost all of the hydrophobic properties of the coating that they have on the surface. I like using products where the synergy works together. So having prep products for the coating itself, and the boost or maintenance product, all of that chemistry working together is one of the ways that I ensure I'm delivering the best and the most consistent results for my customers over and over again. So a big thank you to Heather and Tony, as always, for getting some great products into my hand, and I appreciate the nice personal touches there. Tony is quite the cardboard box artist. Next up are the products I've ordered from the Rag Company. I've been ordering from them for a long time. Even going back a few years, I was one of their grand ambassadors before the world shut down and went crazy. But they do sell a few things that I can't get from my local wholesaler or anyone else around here. And they are some of my favorite products and some of my most used products in my detailing business. The first of which is none other than Optimum No Rinse, or the infamous ONR. This is the 5th revision of their formula. I've been using this since, I think, Formula 3, maybe 2, but I've been using rinseless washes for a long time now. It was something that I wish I started using even sooner. Most recently, quick story about rinseless washing. Most recently, I've been using the Absolute Rinseless Wash by P&S, which definitely works really good and is probably, in my opinion, the biggest competitor to Optimum No Rinse. However, my one sort of gripe with it is its consistency in the bottle and its willingness to dilute in the bucket. Everything is the same. The cleaning power, the ease of use, the way you mix them, which is ½ an ounce for every gallon of water, the application, whether you use the sponge or the Gary Dean method, pre-soaking with IK sprays. I mean, everything is the same, but the one sort of sticking point I have with it is, especially now that it gets a little colder on Long Island, that sort of thicker texture requires some stirring and a little bit more work to get it diluted in the bucket. Optimum No Rinse is just old faithful. It goes in the bucket, it dilutes super quick, and I really like working with it. Now, as I mentioned with the Glassparency stuff, I love when I can work with detailing products and use the synergy, right? That chemistry that works together to really get the best results and the most consistency for my customers. Well, for my customers who don't have a ceramic coating, I protect their vehicles with OptiSeal. OptiSeal is a really great standalone paint protection for customers that don't want to spend up and have the long-term protection of a ceramic coating. This is rated at 3 to 6 months. So again, it depends on where you live, how much you drive your car, and whether or not you park it inside or outside on a regular basis. But this product consistently performs, I would say, just as good as a ceramic coating, just without the durability of it. You know, on a daily driven vehicle, you're gonna get intense hydrophobics, resistance to grime and all the environmental stuff, and just really easy, fast cleaning. But if you drive 20,000 miles a year and you park your car outside every day, you know, you'll be lucky to get like 3 or 4 months out of it. If you park your car inside a garage, 6 months all day if you take care of it. These bottles last just a tremendous amount of time. I mean, they say, I mean, there's 8 ounces in here. Every ounce can protect up to 4 to 5 cars. You can get 40 uses out of one bottle like this. Whether you're using it as a standalone paint protection after like a full detail, or as a drying aid with your towel. It goes on really easy. You just walk away. There's no buffing. You know, it kind of like flashes and evaporates on its own. It's like a magical product. I probably would in the future do like an updated review of OptiSeal and how I use it. They come with the applicators. I got, you know, 4 bottles to get me through the year. Hopefully that's enough, and if I run out, then that's a good problem to have. Now, before I get into the new equipment and the bit of stuff I ordered from Obsessed Garage, I do have one sort of random tool here. Just came in from Amazon, nothing special, but that is a rotary wool pad spur. Over the last year, I've gotten into boat detailing and have done quite a few like compound and polish jobs for hulls and things like that. And you don't realize until you get into that line of work the way like the wool on a rotary pad is different from the wool on a DA pad. And you really need one of these spurs to kind of kick the fibers up and keep the pad clean in between passes. And so I picked one of these up, and this will hang out in my toolbox. So I'm going to close this out with the last 2 shipments that I received, and one of them is a box from Obsessed Garage. If If you don't know Obsessed Garage, it's Matt Mormon's YouTube channel and his business that he runs. He's a distributor for equipment, detailing products, tools, really, really high quality stuff. And something funny about, like my sort of history with Obsessed Garage is those are the orders that I place usually when something I have breaks, or I've pushed it to the limit, or I've realized whatever that was, it just wasn't enough, and I don't want to have to find the next best thing. I'm gonna just close the chapter on whatever that thing was, and I'm gonna get the best of what I can get, because I know it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have for a long time. I'm gonna be able to hold on to it for the future, and it's gonna be really, really good quality. That's the long way of saying that this stuff is the most excitement I feel about anything that I've ordered. Not that I don't love all of the other detailing products I got, and I don't love having a garage filled with all of this stuff, but when I get a package and it's got that little hex logo on it, I'm just a little bit more excited. So let's dive into this box. I'll show you some good stuff I got from Obsessed Garage. First up, I've got the Tornador blowout cleaning tool. This is just the handgun. It's not the one with the canister. They make a couple of different versions if you're not familiar with it. So as I get this out of the package here, show you what this is for anybody who hasn't seen a Tornador before. This is an air tool. You hook this up to your air line. It's got this, really just solid feel to the gun here, and it has this sort of trumpet end and that stem in there. When you force air through it, that stem spins around and creates a vortex, very similar to the turbo nozzle on your pressure washer if you've ever used one before. And what that does is, if you have a really dirty interior, or if you have a carpet that's just kind of holding on to sand and dirt or dog hair, whatever it is, this is gonna help blast all of that dirt out, kick the fibers of the carpeting up, and help you get even more dirt out, so you don't spend so much time vacuuming endlessly. It's also a tool I'm gonna be using for pad blowouts. When I'm polishing the car, the pad builds up residue and the clear coat and everything in the pad, and by blowing them out, you can keep that pad fresh, get rid of all the old residue, and reduce the amount of pads you need to complete a job. I ordered 2 of these. One is gonna be specifically for the pads, the other one for the interiors. This way, when it traps the residue in this, I don't then bring it to the inside of a car and start blowing a bunch of polishing residue everywhere. Is it overkill? Yeah, maybe. Probably shouldn't be lazy and just maybe take this thing off and give it a good cleaning. But I'd rather just save one for the interior, save one for the paint corrections. Next up, I've got some more air tools of a smaller variety. So this is a more traditional blowgun. It's just got that pointed sort of hyper focused nozzle. This will be good for blowing water out around badges and grills, or trim around windows, things like that. And the one I have over there is super janky. It's not rusted, but the metal's old and it's kind of crooked from resting on things and twisting. And these Prevost air tools are just, you can't compare the fit and finish to the stuff I was using from, Harbor Freight. It's not cheap to get tools like this if you are familiar with them and you've seen what they cost. But when you use stuff and use it a lot and it starts to break and you realize, man, I wish it wouldn't have, I wish I could just buy something that can handle, the work it's being put through. Buy once, cry once. Spend up, get some good quality stuff. I have the Euro fittings on here, which ties into the next thing I got, which is the Prevost swivel couplers. All right. You wouldn't know just by looking at this, but this is probably one of the coolest, bits I've got for my air kit here. So what this does is allows me to quickly connect and disconnect my air tools. And it has a really unique feature. One is a dual axis swivel. So this part spins, and it also has this axis here, which kind of spins on that right angle. And that'll allow me to pull the hose and navigate around my garage without the hose getting kinked up and then having to like untwist it. Anybody who's tried to pull out a garden hose that's already filled with water or an air hose, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And to go along with this, I've also replaced my air chuck. So if I want to fill up my IK sprayer, my foam IK sprayer at least, or you know, tires, low pressure, flats, things like that, I've got this really nice dual-sided air chuck here. These are all going on the European fittings so that I can use them interchangeably with the Prevost swiveling coupler. And I should say this, one of the other coolest parts about this is this will release all of the air in the tool before it disconnects. So on a traditional quick connect coupler, when you're done using the tool, you pull that collar back and you can feel the tool wants to like sort of jump out of the hose. And look, if you're safe and responsible, you can prevent accidents from happening. But it's nice to have a sort of second element of safety here, knowing that all the air is going to be released. And when I press this button, there's zero risk that my tool is going to shoot out and end up somewhere where I don't want it to be and possibly damage something that I don't want to get damaged. So lots of really good stuff from Prevost in the air tool world. Can't use these without some air in the line, so I've got a brand new Prevost hose. So this will be my new 50-foot air line. And I didn't know what I wanted to do in terms of a hose reel. You know, is this something that's going to be long term? Am I going to end up in a new garage space within the next year or two? So I kept it simple and I went with just the standard Prevost wall hanger and the 50-foot hose. But I have a feeling when I end up in a shop, I'll probably end up with a longer hose and a proper hose reel setup. You know, it's funny. I remember, you know, I could think back 4, 5, 6 years ago, watching Matt's channel, looking at all the cool stuff he was using and thinking like, man, like one day, you know, I'd love to have that stuff in my garage. And at the time it was just stuff out of my budget and I wasn't at that point in my life or my career. And, you know, I don't take it for granted where I'm at now. A lot of hard work has paid off and I'm really grateful that Matt curates all of these products and kits, but also that, you know, I'm in a position now where I do have these for myself. And I have an appreciation for them because of, you know, the other stuff I've used before and realizing where they lack in quality and what I'm really going to get, you know, benefits out of when I do have stuff like this at my disposal in the garage. And that brings us to the end of this video. I have here my new 20-gallon ultra quiet air compressor from California Air Tools. This is one of my biggest garage updates to date. Probably second only to acquiring a set of quick jacks. But this is something I've been waiting on for a long time. And frankly, I probably should have replaced sooner. For maybe 5 years or so now, I have been working with old reliable, the Harbor Freight Pancake Air Compressor, you know, 3-gallon, 100 PSI. It has served its purpose, but it's time for a bigger upgrade. Not only because of the Tornador air tools, which are new and they're gonna require a lot more air, but when I'm blowing out pads, that little 3-gallon air compressor has to restart after every time I blow out a pad. Now I polish with, you know, headphones, and so I have music going and some things to drown out the noise, but there's just no drowning that thing out. It's loud, it's constantly running, and this has just a almost 7 times the capacity for air, a much higher quality motor that's gonna run more quietly. They say 70 decibels, which is lower than like, you know, a mild conversation. So I have some assembly to do with this. It's propped up on some quick jack blocks right now, but I've got to get like my feet put on there. The no flat wheels are going to go on here, but I'll be running all my air tools through this air compressor, hopefully for a long time into the future. Can't wipe the smile off my face. Just kind of giddy, like a kid on Christmas, looking at this thing, knowing that it's in my garage. And so that's gonna wrap it up for this one. That's my unboxing and overview of everything that I needed to order for the next year of detailing. Got a lot of stuff I'm excited about, from the chemicals to all the tools and equipment, and especially my new air compressor back there. But for now, I have made myself a proper mess in my garage. My car will probably not be in here tonight because I am too tired, and I am not cleaning all of this up right now. That'll be a project for the morning. So like I mentioned, if you enjoy this video, got any value from it, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. And if you saw a product today that you want me to dive deeper into, show you how it works, and give you my feedback on real world experiences with it, leave a comment below, and I'd love to make that video for you guys in the future, especially knowing that it's something that you're looking forward to personally. Other than that, don't really have much else for this one. I'm Jesse from Island Aesthetics. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to check out this video. I'll see you on the next one.